Good afternoon. This is Robert Sin with Goldfinger Capital. I'm speaking with the CEO of Outcrop Silver and Gold. Hi, Ian. How you doing this
Hi
afternoon?
there. Nice to be here as always.
It's a pleasure to have you. So we had some news from Outcrop Silver and Gold this morning. You have some drill results. We've been waiting for drill results. Looks like some high grade silver and gold, vein hosted silver and gold. The kind of silver and gold grades that this project at Santa Ana
Santa
is
Ana.
known for in Colombia. So tell us about this news this morning, Ian.
Okay, so first, let me just back up a teeny bit, right? We started in April, mobilized a single drill. We've now mobilized a second drill because we're now confident in what we're doing. And we started saying what we want to do this year is, even with just one drill running, is prove how this project can dramatically expand, right? So that was our overall objective. We started in April. We did a little bit around the Naranjos area, had some deeper holes. While we were putting logistics, we had about 12 different right-of-way contracts that we put together with the local community that were on side. So that it was, it's really amazing what the team has done in such a short period of time. The environment locally working together has been fantastic. And lo and behold, we put our first two holes into Naranjos, and bang, we got a hit that was considerably higher grade than even our resource, which is exciting. And that's exciting because A, it's starting to prove out the thesis that, this is like a halfway step out all the way down to the middle of the overall trend, which is about 18 kilometers covered by the current titles. So basically all 37 million ounces are just in the northeastern corner. So taking these step outs are important to show how it can grow. But these vein systems, Aguilar, for example, is about 1.8 kilometers long. It's a very long overall strike on this that's been mapped. You go through ore shoots, right? So the reason that Santa Ana puts out such incredible grades is because when we hit an ore shoot, you get in the very nice thicknesses and very high grade. So hitting something of this magnitude on the first hole is extremely exciting because we know it has the potential to put out even better widths and better grades potentially. It acts a lot more like some of our, like Naranjos, for example, where we're seeing it's a little bit more consistent overall grades and thicknesses. But it's a great place to start, right? Because it's not vectoring in based on inference. You have a solid hole to be able to create your vectoring and understanding how ore shoots plunge. So for us, it's huge news, and it's a solid base to continue the rest that we want to do for the rest of the year. I mean, I recently saw an infograph that I love. I just posted it on Twitter that Santa Ana is the second highest grade undeveloped silver project in the world based on its true silver grade. And the grades that we hit at Aguilar are higher than our resource grade. So it's obviously exciting, and it's not very common. And with the backdrop of what's happening in silver, we're excited that we're on a very solid pathway.
So you have 6,475 hectares of mining titles at the project Santa
Anna.
Ana, and you have applications of 21,222 hectares. So in Colombia, you have the mining titles, which gives you basically the mining rights to what's deep in the earth, but that doesn't necessarily give you surface access all the time. So basically, what you're saying is the team did a lot of work to get these ready to be drilled essentially on your titles.
Yeah, that is correct. And if you look at the release, we even have some drill holes planned all the way. We want to get down to Mangos, which is at the very southern section of our mining titles, that we'd like to drill by the end of the year to kind of demonstrate the overall corridor that's covered by the existing titles, right? And we have confidence we can do that because it's going so well, right? We've developed the relationships. We're very much refocused on making sure we're aligned with what the community wants, politically what needs to be done. and we're part of the team basically. So that goodwill has gone a long way, and it's a very nice environment right now in Colombia, and a lot of confidence that this project is on very steady legs to be able to test the rest of this corridor.
So if you look at the property map in today's news, you can see that the resource veins in red are at the northern edge of the corridor, and that constitutes nearly 40 million ounces of silver equivalent in resource. But if you extrapolate that across the entire strike extent, the corridor I think is 30,000 meters, or maybe even a little bit more in total. Then you can do the math and what might this be. I think everybody's goal for a silver deposit, silver project, is to get to that 100 million ounce mark. So what do you need to do to get there, to sort of 3x the silver and gold ounces here?
So our goal this year is to do step one. We basically have a pool. We have a big pool of areas that we go out and we map, and then we have some things that look of areas of interest, and then there's some mapping, and then there's some samples, and then it goes to channel samples, and then there might be some trenching, and then it converts to a drill target. And so even if you look at the map, there's a lot more squiggly little lines up northeast because more regional work has been done. So it's converting and pushing inventory towards drill proven, and then taking drill proven and then drilling it out to resource. So step one for us is to demonstrate what you just did in your head, right? Which is what we want to do. It's 40 million up top, hit in the center, hit at the bottom, and then you just start filling out from there, and you can actually see how we get there. So we're actually looking at putting out our regional work that's being done too, to see how that process works, right? How we go and turn it into a drill target and then actually just drill test it. So this year is about drill testing, right? And hopefully, if the market continues to go well, silver continues to do well, maybe we could add some additional drills to accelerate these processes. We've already taken the decision to mobilize a second drill. We've already taken a decision to ramp up our regional work, because we can see, you'll burn through your targets if you're not still generating more. So we want to be prepared for that. But that's the process, right? And then, that step two is things that you've drill proven, now drill them out to resource level. Because you're right, I think that there's an extreme amount of value that can be created to show that we're over 100 million ounces, especially if it's over 100 million ounces in silver. Because if you look at, the number of projects out there, they're hen's teeth. There's not a lot of them, right? They might be on a equivalent basis, but having true 100 million ounces of silver in today's world is rare as hen's teeth. And I think that Santa Ana is just such an amazing project, because not only is it high grade, but it's also primary silver.
Yeah, I mean, it is an exceptional project, and the metallurgy results that you put out in 2023 helped to prove that as well. So you have 2 rigs on site right now. So where are the rigs? Which zone are they in? And how many more holes do you expect to drill in sort of that green area in the center of the property map? And then where to next?
Okay, so I think at the beginning of the year, we had planned out about 9 or 10 different holes on Aguilar. We wanted to hit it in the south, the middle, and the north. I think we're getting more holes done in the south, because obviously we've hit, right? So I think we'll be doing a considerable amount of work at Aguilar this year, and nearby targets. There's La Ye, Gaudar. There's other areas around it, Gaudal, around it, and then and I assume that we're going to start finding more right now that we're actually have boots on the ground there and spending more attention down there. And then we want to get down to Mangos before the end of the year. We do have some targets up north, but they're less priority, but it's a place you can put a drill. So we have a lot of different targets that we want to, again, our number one goal is converting targets into drill proven. That's our number one goal this year, and we've got a pretty big inventory still to test.
Okay,
I think
so
we're going to be doing at least 1,500 meters a month now with 2 drills, and that includes because it adds the even with drill moves and et cetera, you still got to drill turning. We should be putting out 5+ holes easy a month. I think our average depth is about 150 meters on an average hole because we're testing. We're not going to be. We don't have to drill deep because we're testing new targets. And I would like to be able to get out news on a consistently on a monthly basis to give updates on top of it. You mentioned another one. I alluded to it earlier in the year. We put out incredible results flotation, very encouraging results for gravity. And the next set is we've put gravity and flotation together in a single circuit. And also, I think it's important to explain this overall regional exploration approach that we have to give some people some more color. And I have to go back. Like when you look at that table and you understand that the drill result at Aguilar is, would be like the second best deposit in the world, right? But it is narrow. Like 77 meters is about 0.7 meters, right? But in Colombia, that's normal mining, right? At a meter's width, right? So even if you had to take a meter to take that vein, right, that's still $400 rock that's coming out of the ground at $25 silver, right? It is very economic still, right, to be able to mine those widths at those kind of grades, and that's why grade is so important. As a mining engineer, grade is king, right? Recovery is queen, right? Is that these type of grades ensure that we don't have to get overly creative on, or scale, come up with a project that's a huge scale either to be able to become economic. It's going to be a very economic project. And seeing the grades we're seeing on Aguilar obviously gets us very excited. I personally have worked, by the way, I've been in Colombia the last 8 years and have worked in projects with lower grade at 30 centimeters. So it's not illogical, right? We're hoping though, but this is just the beginning at Aguilar, right? We're hoping that we're going to be seeing some thicker widths. But I think consistently, while we might have a couple holes that hit something really, really hot, it's going to, I think, consistently hold grades around where we're seeing it, which is great because it's still better than our current resource.
Yeah, I mean, you're the mining engineer, and context is key in terms of mining economics. And something that stands out to me about that 0.78 meter hit of 770 gram per ton silver equivalent is, well, it's less than 100 meters deep, so that's a positive. You've got a few other hits that are 23 meters deep, at 79 meters deep. So when you're mining less than 100 meters deep, the economics are substantially better than when you're mining 300 meters deep. So, yeah, I mean, if this was like a 0.3 meter hit at 300 meters, I'd say, Ian, I don't know, that's a stretch. But it's also your first holes, into the zone, and that's pretty promising because to step out this far into an area that's not as well known is risky, and it's exploration, so you're not going to hit on every hole for sure. Because just think about it, you're taking a 5 centimeter diameter pipe and you're trying to tag something 100 meters or 150 meters deep in the earth. There's not much margin for error there. I mean, you could be 2 meters away and miss the entire thing. So good results today.
I'm going to add an extra layer so people really understand Santa Ana too, right? So you have a little line on the surface, and I've gone out there now, and like an outcrop isn't because we mapped this big gigantic quartz vein that runs its surface, right? It's because you can see a little spot here, and then there's a little tuft of grass over there, and a little piece over there, and based on that, you have to say, okay, I got a line on the ground, and then you go, okay, which way does it dip? Right. And what does it do? Like it can fold and do all sorts of things underground. And you take your best gat at that. And then on top of it, we deal with ore shoots. So the ore shoots within a vein have a different plunge. Okay, so just hitting the vein is good, and then obviously you're trying to hit the ore shoots. The ore shoots are what you want, right? Because they carry the best grades and the best widths. So it's why I'm a mining engineer, because my brain can't even think that way. It's like folding space and time to me. So my hats off really to the team, and working on that and working on their interpretations and coming up with a solid first set. And we're drilling continues.
All right. Thank you for this conversation. I appreciate it. And I look forward to what you said that we're going to get consistent news from Outcrop over the months to come here in 2024 with two rigs going. Uh, should be a lot of news flow and hopefully some more results and maybe even some better results. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks a ton. Always a pleasure.